This video focuses on Chapter 4, Section 1, computing probabilities off of a contingency table, also known as a joint frequency table. So I'm looking at questions 21 through 24. And one of the key things on the questions they're going to ask is it's about randomly selecting a single person out of this group. So before we go ahead with any of these questions, our joint frequency table has all the joint frequencies, but it doesn't have any row or column totals. So something that you're going to want to do is total up every column, and when you add that up, that should give you the grand total. You're also going to want to total up each of the rows. And what this information will give you is how many people fit each of these general descriptions. So we have 50 people that use drugs, 505 people that do not, 70 people that tested positive, 485 people that did not. In question 21, they ask us what is the probability of getting a false negative. I'm going to rephrase that in terms of what it means to be a false negative. That means that your subject does use drugs and at the same time they tested negative. So they used drugs and they tested negative. And with all probabilities, we're just going to go ahead and count things up. So there is a total of 5 people that fit that description of simultaneously using drugs and testing negative, and that's going to be out of the 555 total people. And if we were to go ahead and actually turn that into a decimal, that's the decimal, but we go 3 significant digits, so we're going to go ahead, that 9 is our first significant digit, second, third, so we're going to want to round there, so 0.00901. So we're going to want to take it back to that. Our next one, a false positive, that is the people that do not use drugs and at the same time tested positive. And there are 25 of those that fit that description out of the 555. And if we wanted that in decimal form, we get that. And then now to round to 3 significant digits, the 4 is the first significant digit. We're going to want to go 2 more than that. So we're going to want to take that back to there. 23 is the probability that they use drugs. Well, we have 50 that fit that description out of the 555. And if we want to see that as a decimal, we can carry that out. And again, 3 significant digits. We're going to go 2 values past the 9. And there we are as decimal, 3 significant digits. And the probability that they don't use, well, that should be everybody else, but we've got the information up here so we can compute that directly. We have 505 people that don't use out of 555. And again, to go 3 significant digits, well, that first 9 is our first significant digit. We're going to want to round it off to 2 digits beyond that. So take that back 1 more. And so when the 9 rounds up, that carries over. So when working off of a joint frequency table or a contingency table, you are going to want to go ahead and total everybody up and get your grand total there. because your grand total is going to be the denominator of pretty much all the questions that we're looking at.